Good morning to you wherever you are viewing us from. It's a pleasure to be back again. Morning Spring is back for the week and for the last few days in the month of October into the new month of November, which in another 48 hours or thereabout, we will be in November. Thank you for being there with us. Hope you had a splendid weekend. It was nice on this side. Welcome to Morning Spring from the station that says it as it is, and it's a pleasure to be back once again. It promises, as always, to be very interesting, and we'd like to welcome you. Tunde Do is my name, irresistible to the X. I'm Xing and I'm welcoming Femi Ojo as well.
Good morning. All right, good morning. It's a great day.
It's
to
going
be here.
It is started as that.
In this particular week. Yeah, it's the end of the month, by the way. I think the month ends tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
Yeah, 30th. Thank God for how God has brought us so far. I want to thank our distinguished viewers across the world as well. Good morning, Nigeria. Good morning, world. It's Morning Spring on Western Spring Television, where we talk about critical, topical, and trending issues of public importance. That's what we deal with and deal in. Yeah, at this time, 7 a.m. every weekday, we critique major issues. We have conversations, deep quality conversations about these issues. First, we start with stories from the headlines, where we look at the papers, the major dailies, having very interesting stories every day. That's going to be the lineup today as well. Femi Ojo is my name. Good to be back here as well. And today is a very interesting one. By the way, many things happened last week today. The Supreme Court verdict was last week. Justice Datijo spoke last week as his valedictory about some of the things that is happening in the judiciary. How the judiciary has enormous power, and he thinks possibly something is not right with the judiciary. Of course, many have been calling for his head to say, how come you have waited till you are buying out to say some of these things that you are saying, by the way, because some believes he casted aspersion on the judiciary in the manner in which he talked. We'll look into that if time permits us. And of course, that infamous speech or talk, an interview, by the way, he started with his explanation at the National Assembly. I'm talking about Senator Kamiri from Kogi State, and then he took it to a national program on TV where he was trying to defend the plan of the senator or the National Assembly to get SUVs for themselves, a foreign brand, by the way, costing a huge amount of money, between 140 and 160 million per person. And then I think that was quite indefensible.
I first of all, I want to pity the senator because he lost it. And all the excuses, all the things he was trying to lay to defend.
And for you to look at the excuses, bad roads.
Those excuses were nothing but a sham.
So you guys, you don't want the bad road to affect you. So
But
what becomes of the other 199 million or thereabout of Nigerians?
They are less than 500 of them. And you have over 200 million Nigerians. Let's just think that, let's say they are
flying on the same bad
on that same road, day in, day out.
Something that will make you have a smooth ride on that road at the expense. If they have gotten that.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Take that properly. At the expense of taxpayers' money.
Because it's Nigerians' money
that they're using to
fund them. And to not think about the fact that you can come up and say, that's the reason why you are buying this.
Said he would never forget that interview.
If he is saying he's going to pay with his money, fine and good.
That's his business. He's got it.
He even said it, that he has a car that is bigger, that is worth more than the SUV in question. That's fine. Praise God for your life. But then the ones that Nigerians will pay for, many persons brought, we are not saying you are not entitled to the instrumentality of your office.
Obviously.
Of course, you must work. And that's why you are there, to do certain things on behalf of the people that have elected you. But then to come out with such an amount of money, foreign produced car.
I would even have said that's an aspect of greed on the part of the National Assembly set of people. You know,
Yeah.
I would probably look at it and say, those just coming in for the first time, let them get this new cars.
Yeah.
Those that have been there, probably they should have made it probably like half of it. This is, you got cars.
Sunday, 160 million
That's-
is quite inexplicable. There is no way you can explain that.
Why should someone who's been there
Yeah.
before get another 160 million naira worth of SUV?
In now, part of what he said, you know, before we go to the headlines, was the fact that it talked about when he was asked about why the National Assembly are not going for cars made in Nigeria or assembled in Nigeria. He said when those companies have that quality, then they might think about them. And he now further said that it's not that they are not going to get, they might get some utility vehicles like buses for the National Assembly staff. And then you get to say, wait a minute, the National Assembly staff can get Nigerian-made products, but you cannot use Nigerian-made products. How do you explain such? So those ones, they are less of a Nigerian that you guys are. Okay, they can use, the staff that works with you, you know, can use Nigerian-made products. But you, the principal, that should lead by example, can only use foreign-based products because you don't have that quality. How about, you know, it was quite a week, by the way. I just feel we should, you know, talk about some of those things that have happened last week. And sadly as well, we're hearing that the State House of Assembly in Rivers State has been affected, by the way. And we'll get to look into these as we head to the papers right now. Last week was quite an interesting one. But then this week, we hope it will get better. And our conversation for today, you don't want to miss it at all. It's still Western Spring. Channel 190 on the DTT. We're on all our social media handles, on X, on Facebook, and on Instagram. And let me tell you, we're live right now on our Western Spring YouTube channel at Western Spring. That's where we are right now. Go for a break. We'll be back. Please stay with us.
Welcome back. Morning Spring, right here from Western Spring Television. And it's about that time. Let's begin to check out some of the major stories making the round from the various dailies that we have with us here. And we won't do this, as we don't always do this, without the experience and analysis of our in-house analysts. Big thank you to Ladeji Alabi for joining us. Good morning, Ladeji.
Well, it's a good morning to you and Femi. And I was sitting here gently listening to the two of you tackling a hallowed National Assembly.
No,
you are casting aspersion on our National Assembly. And then we hear from our lawyers, please.
I think that's a joke.
No, that's yours on a lie.
Of course,
you
yeah,
know.
sure.
Every well-meaning Nigerians would agree with what you guys have said. So it's not about casting aspersion on something.
All right. Let's get down to the business of the morning. Quite a whole lot making the rounds from the various dailies. I'll kick off from the pages of the Punch newspaper for today. The Punch newspaper, the big bold headline there says, Forex crisis. Labour blames government officials meet today. Labour blames government officials meet today. And you have a couple of riders that is associated to that story. Politicians' taste for foreign goods pushing Nigeria to disaster. Just as we rightly stated during the senators speaking about getting SUVs, foreign SUVs, not just what happened to those that we have here. But Ladiju will help us out. And also you have Labour threatens to boycott talks with government if minister attends. They don't want the Minister of Labour to attend that meeting, but why? Ladiju, let's talk to it. Labour blames government officials meets today. One of the reasons why they are blaming government officials, saying here that politicians' taste for foreign goods pushing Nigeria to disaster. That's credited to the NLC. These days, it's always been there. If it's not from the UK, the US, or Canada, shirt or tie or shoes, Nigerians seem not to be interested in the locally produced goods or services here. We just discussed the fact that 160 million naira worth of SUV will be given to the members of the National Assembly. Where is Innocent Motors? Where are other automobile companies that can put together all these things? Why the taste for foreign goods is always a problem for us here as Nigerians?
Well, thank you very much, Sunday. It's sad that we are led by people that care less, and that's the reality. I don't care what anybody wants to say about it. They care less about governance. They only want to enjoy, the benefit of governance. And it's sad that also some of the citizens go all out to defend them. For me, whatever, and you don't also forget that we are talking about strengthening the Naira. I was discussing with a friend yesterday. I said prayers will not strengthen Naira. Absolutely. A statistic came out over the weekend or thereabout that Nigeria, we are second most praying nation.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the countries that pray less are more developed than people that praise a lot.
So we should stop praying?
No, I'm not saying we should stop praying.
Oh, okay.
But the bulk of our problem doesn't lie with God. They lie with us. Prayers would not make Naira grow. That's the reality. That other people have less percentage in prayers doesn't mean they are less godly than us. Definitely. As a matter of fact, we are only religious, we are not godly. Because the same set of people that you see go to church, go to mosque, go to the office on Monday and, do bad things. And we are talking about praying. Now we want to grow the Naira, but we want to spend 50-something billion naira on SUVs, imported SUVs.
160 million naira.
Each.
For each senator.
Per unit.
For each National Assembly.
Now, this is just for the unit of vehicles that you know about. Don't forget they would have actually ordered gadgets for these guys. A lot of things would have happened in their offices. Now, and we want to grow Naira. It's not magic. It won't work. Imagine we pump that money into our economy. Imagine what will become of our manufacturers in Nigeria. Imagine we pump majority of that money on electricity. Imagine what will become of local businesses. Those ones that are still struggling. You can imagine someone that the totality of our business or his business is not up to 100,000 naira. And on daily basis, they spend money on, on power supply. So I agree totally with Labour. However, is the Labour ready to do the needful? The answer is no. That's the reality.
What's the needful?
Well, of course, yes. We know what they did in 2012. When Jonathan that had plans to remove the subsidy deed, everybody were all out. Everybody. No, Jonathan did not do this. He did not do that. And that's why I always give it to APC. And then I think they were saying or there about them. They are good with the instrument of propaganda, which is part of democracy, right? They are good with it and they use it well, and they got into power, and they have done worse than what they alleged PDP to be doing. So it is a sad reality. We cannot make Naira grow if we fail. It will shock you to know that most of these people, they encourage you and I to eat locally made rice, but they eat imported rice. And we want Naira to grow. It's not magic, it won't happen.
And part of what this writer is saying, Labour threatens to boycott talks with government if minister attends. Is the Minister of Labour one very strong-faced or someone who will not take a no or that about? Why do you think they're saying the minister should not come?
Well, you should know Labour, they've not agreed on something. That's the reality. During Buhari regime, we saw issue with
Senator
Minister Ngige of Labour, Ministry of Labour, then the Labour Union, all those. You also saw the issue of Adamu, the Minister of Education, when ASU was on strike. You see the attitude of, I think Nigerians need to get to understand that these people are not, they are not superior to you. We've given them so much power that will make them feel like they are gods on us. They pay their salaries, even the SUV that they want to go and borrow money to buy. It is still you and I that will refund the money, because it means more tax on you and I.
Okay. Moving further, still from the pages of the Punch newspaper for this morning, you have that picture of the German Chancellor there who visited Mr. President, and a guard of honor been given to him, the Scholz. Yeah. All right. German Chancellor visits Tinubu, gives ECOWAS 81 million euros for security. Others. That's mindful, that's thoughtful, that's a very kind gesture. 81 million euros. ECOWAS getting that. All right, we say thank God. Okay.
But sometimes you have to look at if there are terms and conditions. Sometimes it doesn't
Definitely
look like
there will be.
they just feel like doing for Christmas.
I think Tunde always love to say thank you to these people. They are, like they do say, there are no free meals anywhere. Even in Freetown, do you get this 80-something of
81 million euros.
81 million euros is tied to something. You know, they say beggars don't have choice. When they come asking for what they want, you may not have a choice.
Moving further, importers return to parallel market as Naira rebounds. Good news, or we're still in the same fix?
What was the good news about parallel markets? Because, you know, a few months ago, we just announced that, yes, we now have a single FX. That there is no FX for, don't forget, a lot of things has happened in the CBN, giving priority to some people, making others, you know, not get FX. Now we said we are using a single FX, but Naira keeps falling. As in, it's just a free fall for Naira in the space of 24 hours. You see it falling. Naira only gained over the weekend, and it happens like that when the market closes, possibly because people don't have high demand for dollar. But how does these things happen? When we have people in government, see, there are saboteurs that the sad thing about the saboteurs in this FX business is that they have the backing of politicians. They have the backing of people in government, because even people in government are not spending our money. I could remember before the election, I think one of the presidential candidates mentioned that he went to, I think, Tanzania or Rwanda, and he got there, he wanted to change his Naira to dollar. And they told him right there at the airport, so if you want to stay in our country, you spend our local currency.
Absolutely.
That's the way to grow our currency. It's not. It's not about you trying to, you know, show that you have the money, you are the money bag, and you spend dollar. And you know the sad thing, they spend it with so much, you know, with so much power that you feel, and because poverty is. If you see a Nigerian with $100 now, they'll go to church for Thanksgiving now.
Moving further, still from the pages of the Punch newspaper, Lagos begins demolition of Ikoyi structures near drainages. And on the foreign scene there, it's something that had started since the 7th of this month and is not looking like it's going at any point in time. Israeli Hamas, death not near 10,000. UN warns of civil unrest. Okay. On the top strip of the same daily, FJ6 PD delivery of Turkish attack helicopters. Afrixim, Fidelity Bank, John Vance seal a $40 million cocoa deal. Just hope it's going to get to us and to the entire Nigerians. Challenging P&ID fraud saved Nigeria $15 billion. That's credited to former President Muhammadu Buhari. We begin to hear him after a long while. But by and large, those are some of the stories, headlines that I have from the pages of the Punch newspaper for today.
We head straight to the Nigerian Tribune. The Nigerian Tribune for today. And 15-point MOU implementation. NLC threatens boycott of meeting with federal government, wants Labour Minister not to attend, and to shut down economic activities in Imo November 1st over alleged Labour maltreatment. All right, moving on. Tinubu, governors, others mourn as Oinoi of Ibiraland dies at 95. Wow. Our thoughts and prayers with the royal family in Ibiraland in Kogi State. Supreme Court judgment. Distraction over Tinubu tells German Chancellor. All right, distraction is over. Time to work. And of course, you have the picture there of the president with the German chancellor when he paid a visit to the presidential villa in Abuja. Moving on, 2 men suffocate inside diesel tank in Kano. How? Who put them there? Did they get there by themselves? How? These are questions that need answers. You might want to pick up a copy of the Nigerian Tribune. And boat at the top street, boat with over 80 passengers capsizes in Taraba. Again, yet again. Sadly, Nadeko to Tinubu implement APC El-Rufai recommendations on restructuring and power devolution. That's a strong one there, because the APC by themselves as a party, instituted a committee to look at restructuring led by the former Kaduna State Governor, Nasir El-Rufai, and then he's been there, and the restructuring has been a subject of controversy. And at the bottom strip, I directed Kyari Malami to fight $15 billion payment to PNID. Buhari Riders says had Nigeria lost, it will require schools not to be built, nurses not to be trained, roads not to be repaired, accuses ex-British Minister Patel of demanding payment. This is coming from former President Buhari. Deji, I directed Kyari and Malami to fight $15 billion payment to PNID.
Well, we see the former president coming out to say this after the judgment last week, which went in favor of Nigeria. But it's a good thing that the judgment went in our favor. Well, the former president can now come out and say all this. But where has it been all this while? There are questions, there have been allegations of atrocities that this man, the former CBN governor, perpetrated under his watch. I've not seen him come out to say anything about that. He's only coming out because the judgment in the United Kingdom went in favor of Nigeria. Well, it's a good one, and it's also a good one that, we look at loopholes where money goes into private pockets and where taxpayers' money are not used for what they are meant to be. Because you're talking about 15 billion here, what that money would have done. Do you get?
He listed the things that have prevented Nigeria from doing.
But the reality is, have we seen, how many nurses have we trained, really? How many roads? If you still travel around most of the states in Nigeria, our roads are still in very deplorable situations.
That's why you need a Jeep for 160 million to have a good sale, by the way.
Those ones.
But looking at this, DJ, the push for the fight against PNID was under Buhari.
Yeah.
You give that to him.
Yeah, of course.
Many prominent members of his administration were in that fight. Some agencies of government under him fought that, and they got this.
Well, yes, I'm not disputing that.
Yeah.
I'm not taking,
because it was the one who says, maybe we have some chance, let's fight this.
Of course, yes, I'm not taking that, and that's why they say government is a continuum. Well, he started the fight, and now we have we have something to celebrate. All I'm just saying is, this is just 15 billion. But there were billions that we don't know how they went.
You don't call 15 billion just.
In Nigeria, in Nigeria, this is just to some people. It's just something that some people will send into private. Of course.
This dollars.
Femi. In the eyes of those people that steal our money, this is nothing. It's nothing compared to if you see people that dwells on all these things that the Bible calls vanity, and you say $15 billion is something to them.
It's all right. That will be all from the front page of the Nigerian Tribune.
And straight away to the front page of the Nation newspaper for today. Naira pressure eases on $10 billion forex inflows prospect. That, you want to get total meaning of that, let's check out the pages of the Nation newspaper. Business obstacles to go. Tinubu assures investors. And the writer there says, with Supreme Court verdict, no more distractions. President hosts German Chancellor, and you have that picture there. You have him seated, well seated, with the German Chancellor as well. NNPCL withholds 100, is this 13.27 trillion naira from FARC? Uh-oh, why? Then NLC threatens boycott of today's review meeting with federal government. Cut stops Labour's Occupy Imo plan. Why modular refinery operators can't access bank loans. If you want to know why, please check out that story from the pages of The Nation newspaper. And on the top strip, explosion rocks Rivers House of Assembly complex. Wow. Illegal fishing, a threat to blue economy. Is there illegal fishing? Okay, I'm getting to understand that. And losing P&ID case will have cost Nigeria $15 billion, says Buhari. Boat with 100 on board capsizes in Taraba. We've said this quite a whole lot of times on this program. I don't know. That will be all from the Nation newspaper for today.
All right, we head straight to another one, the Daily Times. The Daily Times is the paper we'll be reviewing right now. And it starts with, showdown looms as NLC Uzodinma locks hunts Wednesday. We will hold him responsible if anything happens. Another writer says government uses fierce coercion on state labor leaders, it says. And another one, blatant lie, labor, government, close. Labor are saying the government are using fierce coercion on state labor leaders, but the government, Uzodinma spokesperson is saying, is a lie, labor and government are close, all right? NLC wants federal governments to stabilize Naira, or, all right, maybe we get to see, the significance of that, or their review. And to Oyo State now, showing judgments. Confusion grips Oyo over conflicting verdicts from same judge. With riders, state government was set to hand Olaoye staff of office. Another one says appeal court may settle matter and legal team assembled. And at the top strip, Nigeria to Houston direct flight soon. Federal government, okay. And my experiences as West African Gas Pipeline DG, Nigeria seek because lawbreakers treated with kid gloves, the Olu of Warri. An APC stalwart wants weakest critics. Oh, wow. Interesting times. AP stalwart warning weakest critics. And PDP national women leader dead. Party months. That's a sad one. But quickly, as a round off, which one do we look at now? Nigeria seek because lawbreakers are treated with kid gloves. From the Olu of Warri, DG. Right?
Well, one of the most respected monarchs in Nigeria. I can't agree with him less. It's because we've lost our morals. We celebrate thieves, and people that are meant to be celebrated, we put them on the background. And that's why we are in this situation. When you hear somebody has stolen this amount of money, all they just need to do is to do a little play bargain, and he or she goes to church or mosque, celebrate, and it becomes a saint again. And these are people that, gone are the days. If you check our history very well, as a matter of fact, if you have a history of stealing in your family, people stigmatize you. They don't want to marry from you. But now, those are the people we celebrate. So I agree perfectly with our respected monarch Olu of Warri on this.
On this one. And very interesting one here. AP stalwart warning weakest critics.
Well, Wike is their party member.
Who's party member?
Since when?
He's working for them for quite
It's just an appointment.
an appointment.
He hasn't rescinded his
no. So
membership of the PDP.
it's because
officially.
PDP doesn't have the balls to sanction him. They don't. They know, Wike is this kind of person that can say things. He doesn't care. So whoever will try and sanction him in PDP knows that he will just open the can of worms. Do you get? The reality is maybe we can now say Wiki halfway up, is PDP halfway down.
Interesting
He's
one.
APC.
Interesting.
Because he's working
there.
with the APC now, and you claim you're in the PDP. It looks confusing. Just like you mentioned, two confusing judgments from the same judge.
All right.
This is Nigeria.
That will be it on the segment. Thank you, Ladeji Alabi.
It's always a pleasure.
Always been here analyzing these issues. We'll go on a short break right now. When we come back, we'll talk about matters arising, especially as it has to do with the state, Ocean State, and what is happening, the plans of the government, of course, some dissenting voices across board. We get to look into that very critically. Please stay with us.
Welcome back. Morning Spring is still the program right here from Western Spring Television, the station that says it as it is. The conversation it's about to take place at this point in time. And what are we going to be talking about? So in the course of last week, there was this statement credited to the state government planning on spending about 100 billion naira infrastructural funds on different projects. 5 flyovers to cut across certain towns, and most especially some here in the dear state of Osogbo as well, among so many other towns in Osun State. We have about 45 roads to be executed, so many plans concerning that. And the state government have said, look, we ain't borrowing the dime. But the APC have come out to ask quite a whole lot of questions, and not just the APC. So many people have come out to ask quite a whole lot of questions that, hey, where will the state government get such monies to fund this project? And there's been accusations, counter-accusations concerning this. We will look into this and see how well to get proper clarification concerning this and how this will take place. It's a pleasure to have our guest in the house this morning, and starting from my extreme right, I'd like to welcome Mr. Jamiu Olawumi, an APC stalwart and a public affairs analyst. Thank you, Mr. Jamiu. Thank you for coming.
It's a pleasure to be here.
Yeah. And also, I'd like to welcome Mr. I wanted to call you Mr. Jamiu again. Yes, Mr. Ladele Bamiji. We'll call him HOB. Thank you. He's an SSA to the Executive Governor on Media. Thank you, Mr. Bamiji Oladele. Good morning to you.
Thank you. Always a pleasure to be here.
Yes, you know, just to lay it there, part of that infrastructural plan is to have, according to the state government, is to have construction of 6 flyovers, and in education, renovation of 6 secondary schools, on health, quarterly Imole medical and surgical outreach in 6 state hospitals, and boreholes across all political wards of Osun State, construction of roads, 2 rehabilitations, construction of 1.5-kilometer length roads in 30 local governments and 1 area office, and dualization of roads as well. 5 of them it has been laid to cut across some part of the state as well, you know, Shogbo, in Elisha, the stretch of Biris, in Elisha to Palace, that's Imo, to Palace in Roundabout, and in Ede, Akuta Ede as well. And these are some, and 2 bridges, construction of bridge. You know, these are some of what is being said. But then they laid out their plans and the intention and the motives why this is happening. But then the opposition party, the APC, released a statement signed by the state chairman, and they term it to be, this plan of government to be a scam, skillfully designed to enrich some economic buccaneers close to the government. And in fact, they said this, as part of that statement, Adeleke should tell the world the economic importance of the proposed construction of a flyover at Owodiede, if not only to serve his personal ego as a native of Ede. They went further to say, is there any justification for the construction of flyovers at this time in the history of the state when the state government under Governor Adeleke is yet to come up with his planned succor for the people of the state when some of other state governments have been doling out the second or third tranche of their government support for the government? This is just part of, we get to interrogate it furthermore, and let's start from there. Mr. Jamiu Olawumi, your party has front face at the plan of the state government. Why so? Is this opposition politics?
Thank you very much. It's like I said, it's a pleasure to be here.
Thank you, sir.
I'd like to also to compliment my brother, the SSA, to the governor. He's here. We're talking here about good governance. We're talking about process. We're talking about due diligence. Construction work does not start by a sudden flight. There's a process. The position of APC I shared very, very well, and as a trained budget reporter by BBC, I know what the process is. We are not having it well here because there's Osun Financial Regulation Law, and it's a booklet. It's in the government. I left it there, and we started the process of this financial regulation thing when Honorable Adejaribili was there. I was working then in the media. I was one of those who marketed the financial regulation law. And the process is very simple. You want to construct a road, you want to upgrade a road, you start with a traffic count. I don't know when this government conducted a traffic count, and they stated the overhead bridges.
Yeah, for the benefit of those who probably are watching us, so get a simpler understanding of traffic counts.
Traffic counts.
Yes. Yeah.
When government wants to upgrade a road or want to construct a major highway, you normally see a rope across the road. Yeah. Vehicle will be going on it, off and on. Okay. And that will give you the count. You will measure the volume of traffic that you're envisaging. There was no time. I live in Owode, by the way, and the economy of Owode in a week is not up to 5 million naira. It's not up to 5 million. In fact, the entire economy of Osun, as today, is not up to 500 million naira in a month. Ask the bankers, they will tell you. So, if you are giving us flyover in Owode, what's the economic consequence? What's the necessity, economic necessity? Owode market is not even a market, it's a roadside trading. It's not a market. People are just putting wares on the frontage of their houses. You want to construct a market, you have to take them off the road. So there's nothing necessitating. I'm just starting with Owode. So if people call it a scam, it's a scam. That's one. Number two, anybody who has been to Lagos knows Allen Avenue in Ikeja. As busy as Allen is, there's no flyover. There's a technology there. Overhead bridges is not a consequence of economic development. It only facilitates. If there's something to be facilitated, why putting your money there? That's one. Number two, this government already is constructing a dualization project in Ede that is not in the budget for the year. They released the supplementary budget late Friday, this last week Friday. I was there on the Yoruba program. There was no supplementary budget ever since the government took over. They were just dipping their hands to the till and spending the way they like. In fact, the other thing they are doing does not have environmental impact assessment because it was subcontracted to somebody. So you have to do a lot of due diligence. Vehicle traffic count is one, environmental impact assessment is one, road safety analysis is also another one. Where you bring in the Federal Road Safety Commission to corroborate your position on what you intend doing. I don't know. Then if you are now awarding contract, Kola Kwalimi, the commissioner, was saying on a radio program yesterday that's going to last a year, the construction. If you are constructing brick and mortar, there's always a time for it to cure. There's nobody can do a flyover in 1 year. There's no technology you are going to adopt. I interrogated the one they did in Olaya. I was part of it. I was part of government. The one they did in Taraba, I was there. Even that is where you don't have much pressure on people's economy. Then if you are adopting selective tendering, which contract are you giving it to? If you are opening bid, when did you open bid? To sum up at 100 billion naira. Then you are not looking at the value of money. For a year, will 100 billion naira be enough? You are telling us 100 billion naira. You are setting up, you are giving us a booby trap for you to continue to review contract and line your pocket.
That's what you think this is?
That is it. That is it, because contract has always been reviewed when you cannot meet up with the deadline. So all this, if you look at them, you cannot say this government is not fleecing the economy.
So you think they didn't do their due diligence before coming out of this? Because this is a government. You expect that is done.
I have the soft copy of the governor's speech. And there's nothing to indicate that he has done that.
Mr. Let me do the needful by saying, Mr. Bamiji, HOB, let's look at some of the things. I'm going to take a part of what Mr. Jami has said. Has the state government done the needful in preparation for the various infrastructural projects that have been lined up? He made mention of quite a whole lot: traffic control. Has there been any things or set of things put together with the Federal Road Safety Commission, those that would be needed to put all these infrastructural projects? Yes, Oshun, we need to develop more than this, and want to see development, infrastructural project, but definitely certain things, the round pegs need to be put in the round holes. Are all these pegs been put in the round hole?
Yes, thank you very much. And I want to thank the good people of Osun State for having us here again today. It's been a while. Been a while too, Mr. Olaumi.
Thank you.
Yes, you see, I don't want to join issue with my brother here because
no, you're not.
Because I don't know. This is Osun State. There are things that are even just too commonsensical than trying to confuse yourself with encumbrances of statistics or of grammar. As far as I'm concerned, even while coming here, I nearly got caught up there at Lameko Junction here. Okay. The traffic build-up is already heavy.
You came through it.
You understand? So people,
and that's one of the proposed places for a flyover.
I'm just using that place too as an example. People are due to be racing that to the places to be a walk that they want to meet up with their business target for the day, and they will now have to spend the whole day there. I don't know if that is good for commerce in any state. So that is one of the projections, and because perhaps Mr. Jami has not been around in terms of what is happening in government, he will definitely not know the workings of this government. What they have fixated themselves with has been to criticize the government. And one of the things the government has done is to make sure that the professionals in the state are adequately engaged in getting these jobs done. It is unlike what we used to have. Bringing people from Lagos, bringing people from anywhere. The governor has sat down with, because governance is not done in isolation. It's not done in vacuum. You are just to provide leadership. The civil service are part of government too. That is where you have the professionals. It's not the governor that will now take the shovel and the bulldozers to do this thing. We have a ministry called Ministry of Works. What are they doing? What are we using them to do? Or are they just there to stay there in 30 days and take their salaries? These people have been made redundant so heavily by the past government. All the likes of Mr. Jeremy have been used to was just to bring their friends, their cronies, all around the world and do some shoddy things and call them consultant and what have you. In this wise, if you do professional traffic count or what have you, you should also do commonsensical high count, like what I just told you about the Lameco this thing here. Are you now can anybody reasonably argue against the fact that there is a need for flyover here at Lameco? Can anybody reasonably argue that there is a need for flyover at Alamisi Junction in Ikirun? That is an ever busy road, a road right from Ilorin to Osogbo, you know, with other axes joining or emptying the traffic into that road from Ila or what have you. And because this government is responsive and responsible enough, we don't want to lose a life. You can do everything you want to do. You can achieve whatever you want to achieve. But if you lose a life, you are failing. That is why you see what is happening in Israel today with Hamas. If you lose a single soul in insane crimes, some countries are ready to go to war with you. Not to now losing lives on something you have capacity to address. That's, yes, the road, because the road has been so smooth from Osogbo down to Ikirun, there have been reported cases of accidents there. Then what do we do as government? Will the governor just fold his eyes and continue to lose people of Ikirun? Okay, let us get a flyover there too, so that people coming from Ilorin can just go on their own. Those coming from Alamisi Junction and other axes of the road, they can go on their own. The same thing for the Owode stuff. It is not the making of Mr. Governor to be born in Ede. But he wasn't also the one. He wasn't the Awolowos of this world who constructed that road from Ibadan to Magan Junction and down to Osogbo. He didn't make himself there. So, I don't know, maybe that is part of the undoing of the past government. They don't do any futuristic projections into what could happen. You say you live in Owode, and anybody who live there with the influx of people from Osogbo and other places, Owode or Kene, those are new places where people are flooding today. And in the morning, you can go and see how terrible it will be.
When it comes to traffic congestion.
Traffic congestions. Those you can now begin to measure the pain. Those who are going on their own businesses, maybe they were coming from Lagos. You've been coming all the way from Lagos, and you have to get hooked up, at Owode. What does that benefit us? Maybe somebody is also bringing something. Is also bringing his goods right from Lagos or Ibadan. Such a person needs to meet up, perhaps with his clients, with his customers, and he has to be delayed for hours. Then Why do we have to allow that to happen?
All right.
So it is not just about ego. What does Mr. Governor want to achieve with ego there? It is about ease of movement, ease of commerce, and safety primarily. Safety of lives of the people, which is, to me, the #1 priority of Mr. Governor. Right. If we lose a soul, then even if you construct 100 million kilometers of road, it will just be like you have not gained anything.
All right, Mr. Bamije. Mr. Naomi, it seems you don't agree with some of his takes.
Yes, of course. My brother, I like your dexterity, especially in trying to defend this action. What we are talking about here, if we are not talking about data, we are talking about common sense, then the money spent on our education is a waste. If you are talking about issues like this, and all that you want to say is common sense, you are not looking at data, then what's the essence of education? What's the essence of process? What's the essence of system management? What's the essence of this is a government whose budget performance, the state performance on budget this year is less than 100 billion. People who understand economy and who understand economics will tell you that you cannot raise funds for 100 billion to do anything unless you're going to grow project bonding. And that's another means of acquiring debt, accumulating debt again. If you say the Ministry of Works people, they are redundant, they participated, even Osun State College of Technology, SRK, brought their students to learn in the process of the flyover in Olaya. You don't get it. You don't get it. Ask engineers there, ask their PS there. They designed it. And in your case, in the case of this government, their ignorance about what you are doing in Ede. It was when I came here that you have to stop. You are a dualization job that's about 25 billion naira worth. They're going to have a bridge on River Osun in Ede. They're going to have a bridge at Ede Water Works because the claim that is coming to Edo Osun. We also have a bridge at the frontage of Ede Muslim Hospital. You are doing direct project. Who does that? People who are not serious that do that. You cannot do dualization of that length. Even federal government cannot do it direct labor. This government does not, these people does not understand governance. They don't know process. And they are not educated by governance. It's going to teach us infrastructure bonding. And is another way of saying borrowing. Because you are bonding, you are borrowing. The budget, supplementary budget release, it was 29 billion for this year. I have it on my phone. I just, it was on Friday that they uploaded it. Signed by the speaker, not signed by the governor. Even not signed by the governor. It's 29 billion total. Capital is 14. Recurrent is 9. What they are going to take as salary and to buy cars is 5 billion, 5.3 billion. And this is a government that wants to embark on a project of 100 billion. They want to loot.
That's what you call it.
Yes.
Yes.
That's what an economist will tell you. And a public financial manager will tell you that it's about looting.
All right. You know, beyond the issue of flyovers, there was the mention of dualization of roads, by the way. An old garage, Okefia Lameko roundabout, Oshogbo, in Oshogbo, right? Akuda Junction, Baptist High School in Ede. Baptist High School, Gada Ede. Okay, Gada Ido-Osun of Fatedo Road, then Ilesha Akure Biuri
Those two
Palace.
requires 2 bridges on River Osun and Irile Waterworks. So go on. I'm only drawing your attention.
Those 5 projects of dualization, you don't agree that they are needed?
I'm not saying they are not needed.
Okay, are they needed?
I'm not saying they are not needed.
No. So what are you saying?
What is the process?
The process is the issue here.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. The process is the issue here because there's a procedure. If you want to do it, a project like that, there'll be the job in Ede. There's no contract information board there. You don't know the contractor is doing it. Even if it was going to be a selective bidding, where you know a particular contractor is going to do it for you, there's a contract information who is doing it. Nobody can come out that this is the contractor for the place. Things are needed, but things are process.
Yeah, the process. Let me speak to Honorable Bamiji. Categorically, has all these projects been contracted
Who is the
out?
contractor handling Ede Akuda?
Yes, as far as I'm concerned, it is a shame, as far as I'm concerned.
That you don't have a contractor?
Wait now.
Okay.
You should have, if you have education, you should have some sense of decorum too. You are not the one.
No, Honorable Bamiji, please let's speak to the issues.
Yes,
Let's speak to the issues.
With the mic.
Yes, I know.
But
But let's speak to the issues.
is he not a journalist? You should know.
Are you a journalist?
But then let's speak to
If
the
you're a
issues.
journalist, if you're a journalist, are you a
You know when
journalist?
somebody have the floor, you
Gentlemen,
Are you a journalist?
Honorable Bamiji and Honorable
what I'm saying.
Are
Jamiu.
you a journalist?
What I'm saying is
It's-
this. Please hold on, gentlemen. Let's speak to the issues.
I'm
Don't let
asking whether it's a
attack
journalist.
personalities.
Whether it's a journalist.
Let's just speak to the issues. Please
If
go
you're
ahead.
a journalist,
For me, that APC have the temerity and audacity to criticize a process like this. Yoruba will say, you have all this education about process of governance. You have, you know the processes. Yet, for the whole of 4 years or how many years you got to serve in the government, what did you contribute
nothing.
to the state?
Nothing.
And some people now, His Excellency
You're talking about the
now-
party.
Yes, the APC,
I'm not speaking-
especially the past government.
Okay, the past government, okay, didn't do anything on Osun State.
So you wouldn't do anything. You don't feel that it is necessary that people must not die. So I don't know his apprehension here. If it is all about the process or the funding. If I go back to the Yoruba maxim that unti akataba manje lofin lo egbe,
That translates to what?
that perhaps what we are used to, you think everybody will be like that. They want to loot. They will loot what? Yes, maybe you are apprehensive. How would the state government or how would the governor raise as much as 100 billion?
Yeah, because he has now actually said that he's not borrowing.
Yes,
Does
does
Osun State
Your
have
budget
that
performance
does it
does
need
not
to
give
borrow?
experience.
No.
it need to borrow?
Is
That the governor has done his diligence, his due diligence to know how to get this money. You hold your peace and see those work done. When it was like this was that their cry. When the governor maintained earlier that he will complete from Oshogbo to Ikirun in just 3 months. He did it and he commissioned it. Did he borrow to do that?
Honorable Bamiji.
So it's a process.
Yeah.
The 100 billion funding is a process which the governor is determined to achieve, and he will achieve it. You might be oblivious of how he's going to do it.
And tell us, that's why you're here.
because
Part of the process which he will do it
Yes.
is by blocking all these leakages.
What?
The capital flight, those things you do it when you are there, taking our money to Lagos. It is no more there now. I don't know whether you get this.
Yes. Honorable Bamiji,
If
let
the
me
governor,
let me
if
ask you
Mr.
two
Governor,
questions. Yeah.
wait, if
Yeah.
Mr. Governor could sacrifice
Sacrifice.
400, 500 million a month
Okay.
which could be taken. Don't let us deceive ourselves. That is a fleecing authority given to most of our governors today.
Yeah.
And somebody come and say, no, I will not be taking this unless there's the need or there are security challenges.
You're talking about the security votes?
Yes, people take it. It is like first line charge before. Whatever the state, if the state wants to die, the state can die. That 400, 500, 600 billion will always be there. I say million.
Honorable Bamiji, so that we get it going. Two quick questions here. Honorable.
Yeah.
I want to react to what
you have the floor. Yeah, you have the floor very shortly.
Yeah.
Number one, how will your government fund that project? Because this is not for me. I'm asking now, not because the oppositions are saying it. The Nigerian people, the Osun people, deserve to know. Because when government says we are going to do this, it's only right for any well-meaning persons to know that this is how it's going to be done. As far as FARC is concerned, Osun got just over 5 billion last month in September. So how is it going to generate and fund a 100 billion project? And the government, they are saying they are not going to borrow about this. So they deserve to know. You're only saying they should wait. But some persons will tell you, tell us now. That's one. Number two, I asked you the other time, and I'm asking you again, has those projects been contracted out already?
Yes, I will still ask you to wait again. I believe your platform was at the briefing of Mr. Governor. No, not just Ipademale.
Okay.
The unveiling program Mr. Governor had last Friday. He said it much that this your question was raised by one of the journalists there, and he told them point blank that yes, people should it was like this, people should calm down, that he will achieve this project
without borrowing.
Yes, without borrowing.
Okay.
It may be because people have been used to chronic decay of the past. It's also now appear like 100 billion now appear like surmountable somehow. How we want to rather really? Maybe that is the apprehension.
Maybe based on the obvious.
Maybe. But a government that is sacrificing a lot as we speak. No commissioner has gotten a dime to buy vehicle since the time they were inaugurated. It's part of sacrifice. You don't know how much would have gone into that? Maintenance of those vehicles, fueling those vehicles up to now. As I speak, I still use my small car. I've been working with this government for almost a year now. Nobody has given me any car. Everybody has been made, because everybody has been made to follow the footsteps of Mr. Governor. That if it is all about money or you want to do self-service, you are not part of my government. Unless you don't have a heart of service too. So money don't rain down like Romina, what they call it. It's when you block leakages, 10 million here, 100 million there. When you prioritize your workings, you will definitely get this money.
How about the contract?
Yes, we have a ministry of work. Most of these things, like I mentioned earlier, will be done majorly by direct labor. Through the Ministry of Works. In fact, it was the permanent secretary. It was the permanent secretary who briefed the media when we got to that junction last Friday. What they have done in terms of all this data, kind of traffic, and what they have done in getting set for this aggressive project, infrastructure plans. So, in terms of schools, rehabilitation, I mean complete rehabilitation, not just this take one block of clean and bulldoze.
So no project is being contracted out. Is that what you're saying?
It is majorly by direct labor. That is what I'm saying. Why do we have engineers? Why do we call some permanent secretary engineers?
All right.
Tell us now, why do we have them?
Mr. Jamiu, I know-
Yes, thank you very
HOB,
much.
let's just hold on so that because of the want of time. Yes, you quickly. I know you want to react before I throw my.
To so many issues.
Quickly, let's get to hear you.
My brother, in governance, I go there before you. Yes, without compromising your integrity. So there are certain things that when we say, you should listen.
That's what I'm saying.
So you should listen.
We will not
The Ministry
walk
of
your
Works
path.
you see there that will handle 6 flyovers does not have a D6. A D6
What's the
machine,
Oh, okay.
earth moving machine, does not have one that will handle 6 flyovers. You are trying to
And because you don't have it, you cannot do it.
You are trying to prevaricate. You are prevaricating. You are just trying to. And it is not this is not a work of art. It's a work of data that you have. The capacity you have at the Ministry of Works today cannot construct a single lane bridge over River Osun.
So, Jamiu, the executive governor is
Wait,
the one in charge of that. What's it called?
Ministry.
That ministry.
Ministry.
So obviously, his impute.
We are talking about capacity. We are not talking about somebody can buy. You need capacity. When you
Which
buy,
capacity are you talking about?
Some people will operate, and you want to do in a year. So you are taking people back to school, how to move what you call caterpillar to work. You are going to teach them how to use crane in this Osun state. Let us know what we are doing. You are talking about 100 billion. In the budget for the year, 5 billion naira revenue target in a particular sector. You have been able to achieve 352 million in October. And you are not going to borrow. You have given out the IGR projects to consultants who are first paying to their own account before they remit to government. In the states where the IGR was raised in the last 3.5 years to 20 billion in a month. No, in a year. 20 billion in a year is the IGR target of Osun in the current budget. And you are not going to borrow. You want to do 6 flyovers. You want to do roads for 45 kilometers of road. Is that not? 45 kilometers of road does not amaze anybody. In Ife Central alone, we did 28 kilometers just in 6 months, brought in by Senator Babajide Omowora there. So what is 1.5 kilometer is going to get us a minute to Ife Central people. 1.5 kilometer is not up to this place to the junction, to your main junction there at the road, per local government. Well, so what is giving anybody a sleepless night there? Nothing, because it's all spectacular. But we are talking to you that
you think it doesn't count?
It counts, but does not give anybody a sleepless night. 1.5 kilometers in a local government that are close to 30,000, 4,000 people as residents. You know the size of Ile-Ife now. You know the size of Osogbo here. So if the government is giving them 1.5 kilometers of road in a year, and that is spectacular, then people don't think. So let us tell ourselves that this is not the way to go. The way to go is to stand the process, put it in the budget. All this that you are saying is not in the budget. The infrastructure account you are saying, you are not telling the people of Osun how much is there. Then let me warn. You want to raise 100 billion. The government is enjoying tax-free holiday, deduction-free holiday because of deduction in fuel subsidy. That's why federal government has not been deducting other charges from the. By the time you are off the holiday, they start to deduct. Where will you get 100 billion? Even what you are getting during the holiday cannot amount to 25 billion.
Honorable Bamiji is saying, just wait. The government knows how to.
We are not stupid people to wait. We can't wait. Also, people cannot wait.
Because we will not walk your part. Like, you know, don't need their time.
The part of good governance is what we are telling you.
We are not talking about. If it was their time, the groundbreaking alone, they will bring K1. Apology to our respected Mayegun. They will bring K1 to come and do music. Just for groundbreaking.
Which of the
almost all your projects. You know, these are the cages we are talking about.
The government I served in never brought K1 here for a minute.
Of the past is no more here.
Yeah.
You understand? We are not prodigal sons or residents of Osun State.
You only go to Lagos to dance every week.
The governor is here to serve his people.
All right, gentlemen,
They have seen it all. It's not.
What has he seen? What has he seen?
Gentlemen, for the want of time, let's
quickly on not the money monger like you guys.
quickly on the security votes.
Oh, okay.
Quickly on security votes. If this governor enjoys security vote today, it is a sacrifice of the past.
How do you mean?
I will tell you.
Yeah.
There were months when deductions are being made from Osun statutory allocation that we have to pay balance even to the federal government.
Courtesy of who? Courtesy of who?
Courtesy of who? Courtesy of government of the past.
Which one is the government of the past?
Governance is a continuum.
It's a continuum in that respect.
It's a continuum. Let me tell you,
we can take 500 billion naira loan, doing nothing. You people should fear God. Mr. Jamiu, when we finish this program, you should go to church, open your cap, and apologize to God Almighty if you cannot apologize to us in Osun State.
You are a jester. You are just a jester.
All right, gentlemen.
You are just a jester.
You
are confusing yourself.
You are just a jester.
Because
Mr. Lowry,
there will be deduction.
Let's just look at this as well.
Who caused that for us? And that is why you are apprehensive again.
And that's why you are going
Mr. Lowry, hold on, please. Now, please listen up. Let's look at part of what the 100 billion naira is going to be used for. The governor made mention of the rehabilitation of 345 health centers in the 332 wards in the state. Phase 2 of portable water provision in the 332 wards of the state. Phase 2 of rehabilitation of 31 schools in the 30 mother local governments and the area office, and recruitment of new teachers, reconstruction and rehabilitation of 45 roads of at least 1 kilometer. 345 health centers. Were all these health centers in jeopardy when this government came in?
They are more than jeopardy. We are already working on all those. We'll bring the clips to you.
Sorry, Honorable Bamiji, because I remember the government of former Governor Gboyega Oyetola said they renovated many health centers, at least
sponsored by the World Bank and commissioned and delivered.
So we have to put that there. Are you saying that's a lie? Are you saying that didn't happen?
That's part of the lies of the past, the trouble
they didn't do anything.
These people put us. What did they do with that $20 million?
Okay.
Is it all about when you say renovation? You say you want to renovate.
I should be 100 bed hospitals there.
Rave studio
with doctors' quarters.
Is it just all about painting? People will go to most of these. You know, we have primary health centers, we have comprehensive health centers situated in some local governments. You cannot call them health centers. You cannot. If you go, the primary objective or goal of a health center is to take care of the sick. How many can I be bold enough to say my daughter or my son is sick today and take it and take him or her?
When this administration took office, what was the state of this health centers?
Bad.
Mr. Jamiu.
It was more than bad.
All of it.
All. Without exception.
We are speaking to fact here.
Yeah.
Mr. Lowry.
All of them. And that is why I'm asking, what did they use?
That's what I want. That $20 million
All right. To achieve for the state.
That's something.
That's why I said, it's just
so that we can get answers and clarifications.
Osun people, instead of still having the infantry to come on here and be blackmailing somebody who is ready to work.
You should apologize for the incorrectness of what you are saying.
So what's the correct one. Mr. Jami,
Tell us the correct one.
No World Bank anywhere.
This water project we are reproducing now. It's supposed it's supposed to be part of the package of that $20 million. Go to any of these health centers. How many of it have boreholes?
Right.
They are supposed to have procured borehole for each of the health centers.
All right.
What did they use that $20 million to achieve?
Let's get to hear what. Let's get to hear.
I doubt if the government is not the reason why you are in Osun State. You have not been living here. I want to put that to you because you don't know.
I'm more than
you don't know virtually anything about what we do here. Please speak to the fact. There's no money from the World Bank that will be used in the execution of the project that will not be monitored by the World Bank and commissioned by the World Bank. Unless you are saying Bretton Woods institution is not sufficiently responsible to fund development projects in Africa. What you are saying is not correct. We are not talking politics and commonsensical things here. We are talking about facts that will lead to the truth.
What was the state of health centers?
The state of the health centers?
Yes, before your government left.
Before the government left?
Yes, please.
The health centers were revitalized, if you know the meaning of revitalization. Personnel were hired into it, which they tampered with when they came to stop those people from going to work. And there are solar powers where there is no electricity to power the borehole and power the infrastructure in the place. Sabo Market here in Oshogbo. Go there. It's a stone throw. You get there. Itakogun is there. Isanagbara is there. The one at Ajagumokefe is there. Beside the low-cost housing estate being used now by the Redeemers University. They are all there. Yemo is there in Ife. Itakogun is there. If you want to speak to facts, it is then you have serious business talking about what we are saying here. If you are just speaking to issues, non-issues in governance, then governance is not about people coming to say, we are going to do this. You cannot, nobody can say it has not met good health facilities in Osun. Part of the World Bank grant, it was not even a loan, it was a grant. It's Asubiaro 100-bed doctor's quarters. It's there, commissioned. Is the COVID center there? Is there. But if you are saying you have not met anything, I think you need a spectacle.
Thank God. Thank goodness too.
Please hold on, gentlemen. Let me just, because we have to move very fast.
Please fact check.
Yes.
Also fact check.
The PDP, the PDP has responded to the statement released by the APC, by the party chairman, Honorable BC. And part of what he said is let me read it out. It said, reading through the APC statement, we see a party that is in bewilderment and severe pain at the ingenuity, innovation, and financial engineering of the Adeleke governorship. It went for that to say, and this is very instructive, the PDP government inherited a state with over 95 infrastructural deficits as of November 2022. Our internal state infra audit, when PDP took over, revealed that the infrastructural decay cut across all sectors of education, health, roads, and water, among others. We then developed an initial emergency plan that led to the complete renovation of 31 schools, 45 kilometers of roads, 332 functioning boreholes, and many things, such roads as Oshogbo Ikiru and Oshogbo Ring Road.
One of the infrastructure deficits, the road that goes from Lameko to Ilobu, is a deficit.
It went for that to say, we call on the APC to read the full speech of Mr. Governor, in which he spelled out the strategies, the projects, the funding plans, and sources of such funding.
If he's watching, there's no strategy in the speech of the governor. You only made announcements.
How about this infrastructure deficit he mentioned?
What are the deficits? The roads,
say 95.
The road that you follow, the road that you follow to your office is a deficit.
Part of the deficit.
The road in Oroke Estate is a deficit. The Orioke Pure Water is a deficit.
Mr. Jami.
So we have a lot of deficits.
Mr. Jami.
The health center at Imo, in his own town, is a deficit.
Mr. Jami, what the deficit here by my
I
own
don't know
reckoning,
whether I will. Okay.
by my own record,
Yes.
we should first of all, the first layer of the deficit
Yes.
are those projects you deliberately, intentionally use Osun as collateral to borrow funds and you refused
To pay
back.
What are the projects?
You refused to do those projects.
What are the projects?
Today, the argument then, when I come to radio or TV like this, then was that it was not true. We did not access, or we haven't. Those credit facilities were not completely accessed. But the state is paying today.
Let us know the projects.
Now, the ring road here. Did your government not take credit facility to complete them?
Which ring road?
This Oshogbo is bypass. You are laughing now. Oshogbo Ilado road. That road that the governor now got emboldened to complete should have been completed, isn't it?
Okay. By paying the contractor up front.
The Baga Akudaro supposed to have been completed.
By paying the contractor up front.
Are these not deficits? What happened to if you are going to abandon project for other governments to continue on the mantra of governance is a continuum. What percentage of work?
What is the percentage of
did you achieve on those roads?
Match the percentage of what they did.
The Baga Akoda road,
to
maybe
the percentage
from Baga Junction to Morakiyo end. That is where that project stopped. For how many years?
Morakiyo, do you know where
and you are not saying,
do you know where Morakiyo's house is? Do you know where Morakiyo's house is in Baga?
That is pure wickedness on the life of the people of Osun. You took loans. You took humongous loan to complete 31 or 29.5 kilometers from Akoda to Baga. You did not do it.
How much is the loan? What's the loan size?
You did not do it.
What's the loan size?
What is the loan size? How much did you take?
Somebody of your status SSA should have facts.
Did you not take loan to do that road?
Not talk about loan.
We did not.
What is the percentage of loan to percentage of job delivered? What's the percentage of loan? Percentage.
The ring road here that the government is not embarking on. It shouldn't have been our own body.
Honorable Baniji,
Oyetola should have completed
Honorable
it.
Baniji, please hold on.
Oyetola started it.
So because you look at him,
Now I'm asking you,
even in their own party,
even in their own APC, and did up to a point. You may just
which point did you Did you do?
No, we didn't do anything during growth.
Please hold on.
What I'm saying is that we are talking of infrastructural deficit. I think they have done their own bit. What they are, especially those within the ambit of what they use Osun as collateral to do. If they have completed them, we won't be here today and be doing them again.
All right, please hold on. Please hold on, gentlemen. Let's clarify this.
Why,
Mr. Olawumi,
you left?
Yes.
Without any reasonable explanation. Why did you leave them?
When you leave the studio today, go to your
take your cameras. This health centers is talking. Take your cameras to primary health centers across local government.
Listen now.
And see what
I want to invite.
You people are wicked.
I want to invite you to a sightseeing. When you leave the studio, go to Okene Township Road that you completed just about 3 weeks ago and see the condition.
All right,
please,
gentlemen, let's just clarify this. Honorable Olawumi. Yeah.
All those things you said we did not complete. What we did, you met intact.
Let's clarify
what you are doing now,
gentlemen.
Is getting withered as you
what I'm
move
telling
on.
you invariably
Gentlemen.
is that you fleeced Osun State.
All right.
Honorable, as an accountant, you don't dip your hand in liability.
Honorable Baniji.
You understand? You don't dip your hand in liability of an organization, not to talk of a state. You borrow money and you took them.
All right, there's still other things I want us to look into, sir.
Because you don't know how
one of the major things I know that we all
The job I did for 20 years.
Mr. Olawumi, Mr.
I can have my flair. I can dive into journalism.
Let me bring this to us here. Let me bring it to both of us here. One of the major things the past government, even started from the period of former Governor Aregbesola, was school projects. We saw that there were buildings massively in various parts of Osun State. But this government is saying that they will be rehabilitating 31 schools in the 30 mother local governments and the area office and recruitment of new teachers. HOB, help us out here. Are the schools in shambles as well?
Maybe there should be another word harder than being in shambles. Even when they were there, Mr. Jami will not argue this. I think they have these squabbles with the predecessor of Mr. Yotola, Engineer Aregbe Shola, that all the big school buildings were already getting dilapidated, and that perhaps it was becoming a death trap for the pupils. That was when they were there, when Oyetola was there. I think they set up a committee then to look into what they have to do on an emergency basis then, because the building was becoming unmanageable or something then. That was even when they were there. You know, and what is, at times, what is school without education? That is what brought about the recruitment of teachers, and I mean teachers, qualified teachers, not all this political patronage of recruitment, kind of recruitment. There are some sectors you don't joke with. Education is one. Health is there. That's why even in schools, any other sector, any other areas of courses can be messed with. Not in medicine, not in education. If you go to most of these schools today, you cannot, you weep. You weep. If government is a continuum, I wouldn't know why they left schools untouched, especially Oyetola. He even said one of the schools was about to collapse. Did it eventually do anything? So, especially most of these rural schools, human beings must not be made to cost the day. Is made to live in a particular community or geographical location. That is where destiny or God Almighty has made them. We must also give them sense of belonging, that they are part of the state. And that is why if the schools were listed. It's not just, one of the good things about what Mr. Governor did was that he listed those projects. If he had listed Ofatedo primary school or local grammar school, and I mark it like myself, I will instigate the people of my town that the governor mentioned this, let us go and ask. That means those projects will be done compulsorily, because people will agitate. Even if the government decide to play ball around about it. That is one of the, this is what is called participatory democracy. So those schools, like you mentioned, we have to be rehabilitated. Working environment should be conducive for human beings.
Are the mega projects, mega schools of Aregbesola, are they among those to be renovated?
They are state properties.
Yes, of course.
Yes, anywhere the government needs to touch, we will touch, especially when it concerns life of small kids who they are not in our age. They don't beg us to go into politics. They didn't beg anybody to be governor. If, God forbid, if the worst happen anywhere, the government will bear the brunt. So wherever the government needs to touch, His Excellency Governor Ademola Adeleke would touch. He will not
Let him also consult Ojuaro where he wrote his WAEC. Let him do that.
Not just Ojuaro.
No, he has benefited from that school. Age 56 in school uniform. So let him do it. Then let me tell you what perhaps you don't know. After this program, I will take your number and forward certain documents to you, so that you can add to your knowledge about what you are doing. You don't know it.
Yes, you have the floor now. But let me just add this so that you have this. The PDP chairman said in that statement, said, reading through the APC statement, we see a party that is in bewilderment and in severe pain of ingenuity, innovation. Is that what it is?
We know the apprehension. We know why they are apprehensive.
The party here has no cause for alarm.
Okay.
The APC.
Yes. Because we are seeing goodness and governance being put into derision.
Okay.
So it's just you are an amusement park. You see the type of dance, movement of the body that amounts to motion without movement. A government that did not care about education recruited teachers 2,500.
When?
Through rigorous process involving the military and the teachers for the first time. The last time we recruited teachers in the state was in 2013, 2014. It was a thought that I did again in 2022. The process was to start in 2020, but the COVID and then SARS. You can't bring people together to come and write exams. So that delayed it to 2022, January, and later in June. You came with your love for education. You asked 1,500 to go home. And ever since, you have not initiated anything in that direction. A government that loves education so much, called Education Conference, it was not there. It was not there to receive a report. That's the love for education. But let's not talk. Let's talk about infrastructure. Too bad you are not speaking to the data because perhaps you don't have it.
Okay. Speak to it.
You don't have it. You don't know the number of secondary schools.
Of what you did.
You don't have the number of secondary schools.
Data of
Please hold on,
emptiness.
He has the floor now. Please go ahead.
Emptiness.
Go ahead.
So you are
Grammar of deceit.
Hold on, Ijobi. Please go ahead, Mr. Lamy.
Data of what?
Go ahead.
What you don't know. Let's just hold on so that we can get of what you don't know.
Data of poverty.
Of what you don't know. The National Bureau of Statistics put Osun economy when we are there at number 9 in Nigeria. So when you are talking about poverty index, it does not affect us as it affects other states. With the type of resources available to us.
Yes.
Let us see the position of Osun today with government that does not use data. You don't use data, then how did you find out they are doing 31 schools if data is not important? So we are talking about renovation of schools. Good effort, 31, yes. But you don't know the content. The problem of education in Osun State is not about infrastructure. The soft content, teacher, all other supportive provisions. That's it's not the brick and mortar.
Yeah.
So you are harping on brick and mortar, and you are laying off teachers.
Honorable Naomi, let's take it home.
Yeah.
November 27 last year,
Yeah.
Governor Adeleke took the reins of governors in Osun State. Yeah. By next month, 27th, it will be 1 year. How will you rate the progress status of Osun State under him so far?
Motion without movement.
That's what you call it?
Yeah.
Honorable, I see that you have some things that you want to react to.
No, yes.
And I'll take
Motion without movement, borehole that are not working, majorly. Generators attached to it in party chieftain houses, providing electricity for them at night.
Mention one.
Different data on the cost of the borehole. The governor said 1.6. the special advisor media said not up to 3 million. We don't know the cost of each of the boreholes. There's no transparency. So it's a motion. It's a motion without mention one.
Honorable Bamiji, and I'll take this as your party shot. We have to
you see an aide talking about something, giving a particular figure, and another person talking about different figures.
Thank you, Honorable.
Even the governor does not know the amount.
Please take it over. Yeah.
Yes, you know,
You have 2 minutes, please.
Our governor will not stalk people with political employment, waiting for till the wee hours of election before you do things. There's nothing you want to do at that point that will not be in shambles, because you know what you want to achieve with it. The University of Ilesha, they waited till a month or two to election before they arranged one dancing podium for the governor to make a pronouncement on it. They knew what they want. When Mr. Governor came now, when His Excellency came, he took action, concrete action, and the university is up and running now. That is governance. It's not always about using the people as bait for political calculus or political calculations. Do what is right at the right time.
Go to the website of NUC,
and that is what Mr. Governor is doing.
NUC will tell you the process.
It's not
and what we achieved.
You have to wait till July or so when you have been deleted by the people of Osun State before you know that you will recruit teachers. So yes, we have data of those they claim to recruit to have recruited, and we felt we know that this is not good for our education system.
Right.
And that is why they were discarded, and other processes are not being initiated to recruit new teachers.
We have to go.
I mean, real teachers, not all these political.
Mr. Oladele Bamiji, SSA Media, to the Governor of Osun State. I'd like to thank you most sincerely for taking time.
It's always my pleasure to be here. Thank you very much.
By Mr. Jamiu Olawumi, a trained reporter with the BBC and also an APC stalwart. But before we go, gentlemen, can you shake hands?
Mr. BBC trained journalist.
My younger brother.
How are you, sir?
All right.
Thank you. And that will be the size of the show this morning. I'd like to thank the guests, the entire production and transmission team. We'll promise you, God willing, we will be back again tomorrow on another edition of this program, Morning Spring. Tonight, who is my name? Good morning from me.
On behalf of everyone that has made this program a success, the backroom people, thank you very much. This conversation is about the betterment and the well-being of the Nigerian people, in this case, the Osun people. Ours is to have this conversation. You make of what you want of this conversation. We'll be back here tomorrow, God willing, here, 7 a.m. on Western Spring Television. Please do well to follow us on all our social media handles, on X, on Facebook, and on Instagram. We're always live on this program on our YouTube channel at Western Spring Television. And of course, you have a recap of this program on that channel as well. Please like, share, and subscribe. Femi Ojo is my name. God bless Nigeria. Have a rewarding week. Bye-bye.